Right now at noon, why the Dane County Sheriff's Office is investigating a death as suspicious. Plus, the Badgers starting their football season off on a good note. We have the highlights on their win over Miami of Ohio. This is News 3 Now at noon. Thanks for joining us today at noon. I'm Josh Spreiter. Breaking news as we come on the air. Current Supreme Court Justice Rebecca Bradley will not be seeking re-election. Bradley was first elected in 2016, announced her decision today, citing what she called increasing partisanship on the court under its current 4-3 liberal majority. In a statement, she says she believes her efforts to strengthen the conservative movement are better served outside the court. Bradley's departure sets up a high-stakes race in April with control of the state's highest court once again in play. More breaking news, the first human case of West Nile virus is confirmed in Dane County. Health officials say this follows earlier cases in Barron, Rusk, and Sheboygan counties. West Nile is spread through the bite of infected mosquitoes, which get the virus from birds. It's not spread person to person. Most people don't develop symptoms, but some may experience fever, headache, and fatigue. Statewide, there are now 4 human cases, including 2 hospitalizations. No deaths have been reported. Tips on preventing mosquito bites are available on the Wisconsin DHS website. Developing right now in western Dane County, the Sheriff's Office is deeming a death as suspicious. Just before midnight, authorities were called to Dunlap Hollow Road, just northwest of Mazomanie. When deputies got there, they found the death to be suspicious, and the Sheriff's Office is now actively investigating. We're told no arrests have been made so far. 2 people are dead this afternoon after a crash between a pickup and a UTV in Richland County. Deputies say 2 people were riding in a UTV last night when they stopped at a stop sign on Hanko Drive, then pulled into the path of a pickup on County Highway CC. The truck hit the UTV, causing it to roll. Despite life-saving measures from first responders and UW MedFlight, both people died at the crash. That scene remains under investigation with help from the Wisconsin DNR and Sauk County Sheriff's Office. Madison police say a bus ride turned chaotic overnight near State and West Dayton streets. Officers say a 31-year-old man broke the emergency brake box on a Madison Metro bus, suddenly activating the brakes and sending passengers falling from their seats. Fortunately, no one was seriously hurt. The man was taken to the hospital for minor injuries before being booked into the Dane County Jail. He now faces charges of disorderly conduct, criminal damage to property, and multiple bail jumping counts. Continuing coverage now of the fallout at the Sun Prairie School District. Some staff members are on leave amid the investigation into former Sun Prairie West Dean of Students Robert Gilkey Meissegeyer, who's accused of child sex crimes. The board has not named the staff members, but News 3 Now is working to identify them. As criminal and employment investigations continue, the school board may be taking further action against the staff members. The board has hired a Milwaukee area attorney to lead the investigation into how allegations against the former dean of students were handled. His arraignment is scheduled for Tuesday. New information now about the arrest of a local priest. Court documents show a police sergeant went undercover online as a 14-year-old girl named Abby. Police logged into a Reddit page used for soliciting sex acts in the Fox Valley area. Priest Andrew Showers sent a message saying he was a 36-year-old male. The sergeant replied indicating Abby was 14. Investigators say Showers engaged in explicit conversations, then tried to meet the fictional girl at a hotel. That's where police arrested him with his hotel room keys, his wallet, and a Viagra pill. He's now charged with multiple offenses, including attempted second-degree sexual assault of a child under 16. Well, Labor Day weekend's here. Let's get a first look at your first warn forecast with meteorologist Jacob Montesano. Hi, Jacob.
Hey, Josh. Right now we are seeing some showers out there, mainly north of Madison right now. If you look closer, you can see there are some pockets of moderate to heavy rain, but for the most part, this is just going to be some light to moderate showers. Not seeing any lightning with this, and we haven't really seen any lightning with it all morning. But this is expected to move through the region and maybe seeing some additional showers develop later in the day. So overall, we're going to continue to see these showers and very isolated storms impact our area through the evening and potentially overnight. It is possible that some areas don't see any rain at all. with some, even those that do see the rainfall probably won't see all that much. And then once we get to Saturday morning, still might see some lingering showers, but we are expecting drier conditions, especially by Saturday afternoon. Now, current temperatures pretty comfortable for Madison and areas to the south, but take a look at the northern portion of our area, still in the 50s because of that rainfall, and it is in the lower 70s further southwest. So some areas comfortable, others not so much. And throughout the rest of the day, we'll have high temperatures kind of in that middle to lower 70 range. I do expect to see only highs in the 60s though for northern counties, as you have been seeing that rainfall move through, and I don't expect temperatures to warm up to the 70s for the rest of the day. And with the continuous cloud cover overnight, it's not going to be quite as chilly of a morning for Saturday, as lows will be in the middle to upper 50s for most of the region, but it is going to continue to warm up throughout the weekend. So I'll talk more in detail about your full Labor Day forecast coming up a little bit later.
All right, Jacob, thank you. Well, Badger football is starting the season strong by beating Miami of Ohio. The Badgers coming away with a win, but in the process, losing their quarterback. Wisconsin head coach Luke Fickell has brought in a transfer quarterback 3 times, and 3 times they've gone down hurt. Last night, Billy Edwards Jr. exited the second quarter with what looks like a leg injury and did not return. Edwards completed 6 of his 13 passes for 68 yards. His backup, San Diego State transfer Danny O'Neal, completed 12 of his 19 attempts. Final score, 17-0. 66,000 fans turned out for the season opener at Camp Randall. And new data released today by UW Police also details incidents during the game. Officers issued 21 citations, 16 of them to UW students. A total of 20 people were arrested, including 15 students. Another 27 people were ejected from the stadium, 22 of whom were students. Vice President J.D. Vance is back in the nation's capital after promoting President Trump's spending package in La Crosse. At a steel plant address, the VP spoke about how the bill supports domestic manufacturing and American families. The legislation reauthorizes a 2017 corporate tax cut and allocates more than $100 billion to law enforcement to fight drug trafficking.
We have great American craftsmen right here in Wisconsin, and we ought to fight for the American future that our children rely on is going to be built by and for American workers.
Vance is also defending the bill's health care cuts for immigrants, saying Republicans refuse to provide benefits to people without legal status. He has made similar stops in Pennsylvania and Georgia to promote the legislation. 20 years ago today, Hurricane Katrina made landfall in the south, breaching levees in New Orleans. Katrina is the costliest hurricane in U.S. history and one of the deadliest. CBS's Rob Marciano has the follow-up.
In 2005, Hurricane Katrina barreled into the Gulf Coast, with Mississippi feeling its wrath. Lives forever changed.
I'm just glad you're alive.
How's everything?
Now, 20 years later,
Good to see you, Bobby. All right.
we caught up with Biloxi, Mississippi restaurant owner Bobby Mahoney, who remembers Katrina vividly.
I was like this, and so I did that. So 1 wave, 2 wave. I turned my head to look back over there, and then I come back, and the wave's in the window.
In Louisiana, storm surge from Katrina breached the levees in New Orleans, creating catastrophic flooding and a historic humanitarian crisis.
We all are desperate. We all are desperate.
The following years were spent building a better flood protection system, including this, the world's largest pump station, which blocks storm surge from the Gulf and pumps rainwater away from the city.
This is the battleground right here.
This is it. This
Holding
is where
back
the
that
action
water
happens.
and throwing this water back.
Yeah.
Jesse Knoll heads the organization running this massive complex, which boasts 11 pumps.
This is it. This is what's moving the water.
And they're powered by enormous engines, able to move 142,000 gallons of water per second. On the other side of the city, there's also this 26-foot-high, nearly 2-mile-long surge barrier. And since 2012, New Orleans has remained mostly dry, including during 2021's Hurricane Ida.
But we had 7 feet of water screaming at us from the other side.
Wow.
So it was a wild event.
That's a good test.
It is.
Still, Knoll knows the challenge never ends.
Do you think we've built a big enough system to withstand the 100-year storm, the 500-year storm?
I think we started out with what was able to defend against the 100-year storm in 2007 to 2010, and we're continuously working to make it better.
So it's a constant battle, isn't it?
It is indeed. It is indeed, but it's one worth fighting.
Worth fighting for sure. It does come at a cost. The entire flood protection system cost $14.5 billion to build. We do need to give a shout out to the progress we've made on the forecasting front. The National Hurricane Center has reduced its forecast error by 50% in the last 20 years, essentially doubling its track accuracy. And what that does, it gives emergency managers more time to give more accurate and targeted evacuation orders, in the end, saving lives. Rob Marciano, CBS News, New Orleans.
Coming up next on News 3 Now at noon, the latest numbers on the U.S. economy, plus what eggs are being recalled because of a possible salmonella contamination.
You're watching News 3 Now at noon. Moving forward.
The U.S. economy grew faster than expected between April and June. New Commerce Department data shows the nation's gross domestic product expanded at an annual rate of 3.3%, up from the agency's initial 3% projection. The government says increased consumer spending and greater business investment in artificial intelligence drove the uptick. This after numbers showed that the U.S. economy shrank 0.5% during the first 3 months of 2025. Country Eggs is recalling its large brown cage-free sunshine yolks because of a possible salmonella contamination. The eggs are sold under multiple brand names. According to a notice from the Food and Drug Administration, there have been more than 90 reports of illnesses so far across 14 states. More than 70 illnesses were reported in California, where the egg producer is based. Federal regulators are investigating. Consumers can return the recalled eggs to their place of purchase for a refund. And this weekend's Powerball jackpot is now close to $1 billion. The last time someone won the big prize was 3 months ago. Tomorrow night's jackpot is the 6th largest in the game's history, with a cash value of more than $428 million. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Jesse Mitchell.
Here's the stock report at the noon hour. The Dow's down 146 points, NASDAQ down 284, and the S&P 500 down right now 49. Our call for action volunteers are in the building, taking your consumer complaints and taking action on your behalf. Call for action at 608-270-2833 or submit a claim anytime at channel3000.com/call-for-action. When we come back at noon, we'll have a look at your farm numbers. Then meteorologist Jacob Montesano is tracking the first warn forecast as we head into the Labor Day weekend. Stay with us. Pam Yankey's out of the radio barn today, so here are your farm numbers. Now look at your first warn forecast with meteorologist Jacob Montesano. Hi, Jacob.
Hey, Josh, here's a look at the 3 things you need to know. We'll see some showers today with a pretty sunny Labor Day weekend, maybe some clouds on Saturday, but Sunday and Monday will feature plenty of sunshine. We are going to see a little bit more rain on Wednesday compared to today, and that's going to really alter the temperatures. So I'll talk about that in a moment, but first let's talk about the rain that's occurring right now. Again, mostly to the north of Madison, and there are some pockets of moderate rainfall, but for the most part, this rain is going to fall at a pretty light pace, but it may last for about an hour or two if it does maintain how large it is right now, but it is expected to dissipate a little bit as it moves to the southeast. Now, throughout the day, we may continue to see some more showers develop, maybe a few isolated thunderstorms, but for the most part, it's mostly going to be just shower activity. But these may continue into the overnight hours as well. not going to see anything particularly heavy, maybe some small pockets of heavy rain, but for the most part, total rainfall will be pretty light. And then by the time we get to the late morning Saturday, we'll be pretty dry, maybe a few isolated showers developing Saturday afternoon with those cloudy skies. But once we get to Sunday, we are going to see clear skies with some clouds still kind of lingering around our area through Sunday morning. But then by Sunday afternoon, very sunny skies, and the very sunny skies will continue for Labor Day as well. As those temperatures do warm up on top of that, middle to upper 70s for Sunday and Monday. But these upper 70s are actually near average for this time of the year. We've been below the average for quite a few days now. And after Labor Day, we're likely going to see a lot of days below normal. Now, fast forwarding to Tuesday night. Now, Tuesday will feature similar conditions to Labor Day, sunny skies and very comfortable temperatures. But as we get to the overnight hours, we'll see some showers and a few isolated thunderstorms develop. But then during the day on Wednesday, we'll see more widespread rain, especially later in the day Wednesday into Wednesday night. Most of our areas should see rain at this point. And we could see a few thunderstorms on top of it. Right now, we're not expecting severe weather, though. And then as we get to Thursday, still seeing some lingering showers. But notice these arrows coming out of the northwest. That indicates the wind. And the wind is really going to cool those temperatures down. And take a look at the temperature change from Labor Day to Thursday. Highs may only be in the lower 60s Thursday. And even after Thursday, we're still going to see those high temperatures in the 60s. So it's certainly going to feel like fall once we get to this point. But thankfully, that's going to occur after Labor Day, and Labor Day weekend is going to feature very, very nice conditions. We will see, on and off cloud cover for Saturday, maybe a few isolated showers, but I wouldn't cancel anything Saturday for sure. It's going to be mostly dry, especially for Madison and areas to the east, just to seeing a few showers to the west of Madison Saturday. For Sunday and Monday, almost completely sunny skies by the time we get to the afternoon, and those temperatures will be a bit warmer, especially compared to where we have been this week. A lot of the days have featured highs right around 70 when we're supposed to see highs in the upper 70s, and we will see that for Monday and Tuesday. And definitely enjoy it if you like those warmer temperatures, because it's certainly looking cooler for next weekend. Now, I'm looking forward to next weekend's weather, but it's hard to complain about this weekend, and it's going to be almost perfect across the area.
We're going to enjoy it while we can. All right, Jacob, thank you. Up next, we'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
What's the secret of getting the tropical taste of a pina colada into a dessert? I'll show you. If you like pina coladas, well, then you're gonna love what we're making today. It's a layered dessert that takes on all the flavors that are in here and turns them into a tropical treat that just shouts summer. The best part, it all comes together in no time. All we do is stir together instant vanilla pudding with some milk until it begins to thicken up. Then we gently fold in some whipped topping, and once it's combined, we'll set that aside while we toast some shredded coconut in a skillet. Keep a close eye on it, because it can go from golden brown to I just burned the whole batch in just seconds. Now comes the fun part. We place cubes of angel food cake in the bottom of a trifle bowl and top that with half of the pudding mixture. Next, we pile on some drained pineapple, then our toasted coconut, and we'll repeat the layers, ending with a layer of the pudding mixture. Right before serving it, fancy it up with some toasted coconut and a few cherries, and let the party begin. However you serve it, make sure you use a big spoon so everyone can scoop out all those flavor-packed layers. To get the recipe for pina colada trifle, go online so you can hang on to the taste of summer just a little bit longer. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where every day we're looking for more tropical ways for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Finally today at noon, a Milwaukee County Transit bus driver is being praised for helping reunite a lost child with his family. Surveillance video shows the driver spotting the boy standing alone at a bus stop last week. She stopped, you can see her getting out, brought the boy on board, and then immediately called dispatch. Police arrived shortly after to reunite the child with his family. Online, people are applauding her quick thinking and compassion, calling her a hero and thanking her for protecting the community's most vulnerable. We love to see it. Here's Jacob now with the final check of your first warn weather.
Thanks, Josh. The story is that we're going to see very nice weather over Labor Day weekend. A few showers today. We're seeing those showers right now. Maybe a very isolated shower Saturday, but Sunday and Monday, there's just about a 0% chance of rainfall, and temperatures will be very comfortable. Middle to upper 70s will be the highs for Sunday and Monday. We'll continue to see those temperatures for Tuesday. Wednesday will feature quite a bit of rain with some windy conditions, and that will cool the temperatures down once we get to Thursday, where highs will only be in the lower 60s, and we're still going to see 60s beyond that. So it's going to be even colder towards the end of next week than it was earlier this week. And obviously that is to be expected. We're in the time of year where the average temperature will continue to fall. So we're going to continue to see some of the coldest air we've seen in months, and that's going to happen yet again towards the end of next week. Now, I do expect to see at some point in September the 80s return, but we may be done with the 90s because by the time we get towards the middle of September, 90-degree days will be records for those given days. So not very likely to see that, but for those of you that like the warm temperatures, first off, it'll be fairly warm Sunday and Monday, but I guarantee you those 80s are going to return at some point before the season's over.
All right, Jacob, thank you. Thanks for watching News 3 Now Noon. Coming up next is The Bold and the Beautiful. Our next newscast is coming up live at 4, and a reminder, you can always find us streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000+. Have a great Labor Day weekend.